Hello everybody, today I am joined with Lauren and our lesson today is going to be focused on beginner pirouettes. So the way this lesson is going to be broken down is we're going to start with the ankle, we're going to move on to our knees, we're going to move into our hip flexors, we're going to do a little bit of core, and then we're going to focus on some execution. So we're going to start at the bottom and work our way back up. We are not going to focus on the arms today, but we do have a great video focused on arms, so be sure to check that out. So Lauren is going to swing around to the other side of the bar here, and you are going to need a bar, a stool, or a countertop, and we're going to take one block, and if you want, you can also use a tennis ball or a small Pilates ball for this, and you can see she's going to place it between the legs, and she's going to place it just above the ankle bone here. And what this is going to do is it's going to engage the inner thighs as she squeezes. So if she were to elevate up here and just let the block like relax, the inside of those legs are going to completely disengage here. So she's going to take that, she's going to fix that again, and we're going to do this correctly. So she's going to squeeze that block nice and strong. She's going to press up, focusing on that weight, nice and distributed, and then she's going to lift as we lower back down to our flat position. And we are going to take 16 of those. Immediately following that 16, we're going to take the block. We're just going to place it quickly off to the side there. Yes. And then we're going to move into our right passe. And now we are going to take our basic elevates in passe, focusing on that upper body alignment, closing that rib cage, focusing on this nice tall knee. And then she's just going to take 8 of these on each side. 8 on that last one. She's going to go down, bring that foot down, immediately switch to the other side. And we're just going to continue rolling on through. Yes, important part here when we're taking the single foot elevates while we're in passe is that we don't roll to the outside or the inside of the foot. We don't want the weight being more on the pinky or more on the big toe. We really want to help distribute that weight nice and evenly. All right, so we're going to grab that block. We're going to set up, again, we're going to place that block between the ankles just like so, making sure it's just above the ankle bone. And we're going to take 16 elevates. Here we go. And 6, 7, 8. We press up 1 and down. And 2 and down. Good. And 3, keeping that engagement of the inner thighs there. And 4 and down. And 5 and down. And 6 and down. And 7. Good. And 8. Very nice. We're going to take 8 more of these here. 9. And finding that control as we lower back down. 10. And 11 and 12. Very nice. 4 more sets here. 13 and 14. Finding that lift in that core. 15. Last one here. And let's just hold at the top on 16, making sure that we're in that correct alignment. And we're going to slowly lower back down. Good. And we're going to take that block. We're going to move it off to the side and we're going to head into our right passe position. And remember, we're only going to take 8 of these on each side. All right. We begin 6, 7, 8, pressing 1 and control. And we're really going to focus on having that knee at full height for the full duration. We're never going to allow that knee to drop below that flat 90-degree line. And 4. Very nice. 4 more sets here. 5 and 6. And 7 and 8, and we lower down. We drop that foot down to its prep position. Left one comes up. 6, 7, 8, pressing 1, keeping that knee all the way up. And 2 and 3 and 4. Very nice. And 5 and 6 and 7 and 8 and lower. Excellent work. We are now going to move into some knee work. This does incorporate the ankles in the second part, but we're really going to be focusing on finding our nice lifted leg, straight knee, so that as we turn on a beautifully strong leg. So Lauren's going to place the left hand at the bar just like we were at a ballet class. She's going to place that right hand on her hip like so, and she's going to move into her right passe position. And she's going to focus on keeping this knee nice and flat. We never want to allow that to drop down. We don't want it to open. We're working in a parallel position today, so we're keeping that knee up, finding the core, the ribs nice and controlled. So what she's going to do is she's going to plie while focusing on the lift of the head, keeping that chin tall, and then she's going to press down into the floor just to straight. Yes, and what she's not going to do is take that plie for me, is as she straightens, she's not going to straighten and push that weight back, right? And this is obviously an exaggerated version, but what a lot of you guys do is when we plie, and one of the common issues that I see is as we straighten, all we do is we slightly take that weight to our heel. so that in this next part, when we do move on to releve, you're going to find that to be very difficult and finding that nice clean weight shift. So one more time, just the flat. She plies, she focuses on lifting and finding the length in the top of the leg to get that straight. Yes, so we're going to take 8 of those. Immediately following, we'll take that plie one more time. And then we're going to press down into the floor, finding that nice strong releve. Again, not allowing this knee to drop, right? So we're going to lift that knee as high as we can. And we don't focus on bringing the foot up, but we rather focus on the knee lifting. And we'll talk a little bit more about that in our next part here. So we're going to take 8 flat. You can relax when we're learning. 8 flat, and then moving into our 8 releve. Here we go. And 5, 6, 7, 8. We plie 1 and press. And 2. And press. Good. Really pulling up through the front of that leg there to get that nice straight leg. And good pressing. And 5. Really lifting, finding that length. And 6. And 7. Making sure that that knee is nice and tall. Don't let that fall. And 8. Lift. Good. Now we take releve plie. Pressing and lifting that knee nice and high. 2. And press. And 3. And press. And 4. And press. Very nice. 4 more here. 5. And press. And 6. Press. Just 2 more here. And 7. Last one here. And 8. And let's hold the balance. And let's spin to the other side. Here we go. And 5, 6, 7, 8. Plie 1. Nice control straight. And 2. And just that straight line. Really focusing on a nice controlled, engaged knee here. And 3. Press. And lifting nice and tall. And 6. 2 more sets here. And 7. And 8. Very nice. Now we're going to move to our releve and plie and finding that opposition. So as we pull up to releve, we're pressing downward, lifting that knee. And 3. Press. And 4. Very nice. We're going to take 4 more here. And we're going to plie and we're going to find the down of that right leg, the up of that left knee, finding that opposition work. And press. Nice shoulders down. Just 2 more here. 7. Lifting tall. And this last one, we're going to take the releve balance again and just hold here for a moment. Find that height of the knee. Really fight for that up, 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 up. Finding that engagement and controlling back down. Yes, excellent work. All right, moving on to our third exercise. This is going to be focused on our hip flexors and achieving a nice high passe. So Lauren is going to set up and start the exact same way we just did. So that left hand is on the bar, the right hand is on the hip, and we are in a nice high passe position. So as we go here, we're finding a nice neutral passe here. We're not too low. We're not trying to overdo it and lift. We're finding a nice neutral, clean, professional passe. Now what's going to happen is she's going to lift up just slightly that knee. We're going to try and maintain as much of this hip placement as possible, and we're going to try not to disconnect. Now, Lauren already has a nice lifted passe, so for her, she is going to have to disconnect just slightly and then control. And that's okay, because what we're doing here is we're working on activating, relax for me, and firing that hip flexor to achieve the necessary strength and placement to get to a nice high passe like Lauren has at all times. So one more time, let's do this one more time for me, Lauren. And we are going to take 16 of these when we jump into it, and she's just going to lift nice and tall and down, and yes, relax. And this is an excellent exercise for those beginners who are looking to how to get into passe and where a passe should be placed. So one thing I like to remind all of my dancers, especially in the early stages, is that passe is not the height of the foot, but the height of the knee. So a lot of times our dancers like to take that knee and try and really get it up under the hips, but we want that knee to be as high as we possibly can. All right, let's take 16. Here we go. And 6, 7, 8, lifting 1 and down and 2. And down and 3, down and 4, very nice, and 5, and fighting for that high passe, 6, 2 more here, 7, and 8, 8 more, and 9, and 10, and 11, and 12, and really still finding that opposition there. So as we lift, we're pushing down into that supporting foot and lift and lift. Excellent. Let's spin around, other side. Here we go. And make sure that that elbow doesn't fall back. We're keeping that in line so that we don't allow the rib cage to splay open. Here we go. 6, 7, 8, and 1, and 2, and 3, and 4. Good. And 5, and 6, and 7. This is the halfway mark. 8 more of these. Here we go. And 9, and 10, and 11, and 12. Good. 4 more. 13, and 14, and 15, and 16. Excellent work. All right, so we're going to work one core exercise. We're going to do this shortly, right? We're going to do a small one here just to kind of start to fire that core. And what I like to do is I like to focus on core engagement as opposed to core building. So we're not going to sit here and do 30 sit-ups. We're not going to do a bunch of crunches. What we're going to focus on is our plank work with a specific emphasis in passe. So Lauren is going to head into her plank position. She's going to be standard, but what we're going to do is we're going to take this right leg and we're going to lift it a little high and we're going to point. Keep that leg straight out behind you there. Yes. And then what we're going to do is we're going to drive into passe in 1 count. So we drive 1. Then we're going to hold here 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, just like we're emulating our pirouettes. And we're going to allow that foot to return back to its starting position. And as you can see, this foot is not touching the floor. This is off the floor. So we're never allowing our transfer of weight to go from 1 foot to 2. We're maintaining our single foot transfer. And she's going to drive again in 1, finding that core, right? We notice that the hips don't come up, the back doesn't disengage, and then we send that back. Good. Relax from me, Lauren. Good. So one note I always like to make, again, because this is for beginner pirouettes, is that the dancers aren't too far in their plank. Those arms and the shoulders are in a nice alignment, because if we get too far, we're going to start that curve. We're going to put a lot of tension into our lower spine, and that is definitely not what we want. All right, let's set up and let's begin. And we're going to move this right from right side directly into our left. And we begin 5, 6, 7, 8, driving 1, 2, 3, 4, hold 5, 6, set back 7, 8, and drive nice and quick. 3, 4, 5, 6, return 7, 8, and 3. Holding 5, return 7. Last one here, and 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and other side. And 1, 2, nice. 3, 4, and that quickness of passe is really important because it allows us to focus on how we're going to be getting into our passe in our pirouettes. We're not allowing it to just relax. And 3, driving, finding that core engagement, not allowing a lot of core movement back. Last one, 4, holding, and relax down. Excellent work. All right, we're going to move into a little bit of execution work. So what we're going to do is we're going to turn into our right pirouette prep position. Nice flat arms. We like to call it a flat middle third. That core is engaged as always. That's super important. That back foot is nice and popped. We're not going to be starting in that relaxed position where it's kind of straight and bent. We're bending that knee. We're popping that foot. Energy in the arm. So if Lauren pushes down, she's going to feel that back engage, and that's how we should always be working. So the first one she's going to do, the first 4 I should say, is she's going to drive into passe as quickly as she can, and she's just going to remain flat. She's working on that weight transfer building exercise. She's finding all of the kinks that need to be worked out, and she's going to return back to her prep position. And she's going to drive again, quick, nice and flat. Common issues I see are core disengaged, weight shift doesn't get all the way back. This is a big one. So go back to prep for me, where dancers will bring the passe up, but they allow the shoulders to stay back, and then they're going to fall, right? And then they're going to be turning kind of like a tilt-a-whirl idea, and they're going to be wondering where, and this is a super common issue. The second one is just not even fully getting that weight transfer onto the foot. And we'll notice that when we start to take our releve in the next 4. So again, we're going to take 4 transfers of weight just to flat. Yes. After the 4th one, we return neutral. We go up to releve quick. 1 and down. And we're not going to balance here forever. This is just working the transfer of weight. This is just getting our dancers to know how to come from prep to releve. And we're going to take that total 4 times flat, 4 times releve on each side. All right, here we go. And 5, 6, 7, 8, driving 1 and down. 2 and down, fighting for that high passe. 3, finding that core work, and 4. Now we're taking that, we're building upon it to releve up and down and hold and down and hold down. Last one, fight down. Excellent. Good. Left side. 6, 7, 8, drive 1, and down, and 2, and down, and 3, and down, and 4, releve, and 1. Keep the weight forward. There we go. 2 more here. Press, and hold, finish. Excellent. All right, we are moving into our last exercise of the day, and this is a full execution exercise. We're only going to be working singles today because this is for our beginner dancers. So Lauren is going to start in her parallel position. She's going to start feet together. Yes, she's going to tendu back 1. She's going to take that nice controlled plie that we just worked on 2. She's going to take a single pirouette 3, stepping out to second, 4, and then coming together. And then we repeat that. And 1, and plie, and push, out, and together. Excellent. And again, we're only going to do this 2 times, right? You should be able to do this multiple times, but for today, we're just going to do 2. We're going to be working on a nice control technique. All right, here we go. 6, 7, 8, tendu 1, finding the lift 2, nice single pirouette 3, stepping out 4 together. Again, 5, and plie, nice control, stepping together. Excellent. We're going to turn, we're going to face for the left side. 6, 7, 8, and 1, and plie, and lift, out, together. 1, and plie, lift, out. Yes, excellent. All right, that's all we have for you guys today. I hope you enjoyed this. I hope you learned something, and we'll see you next time. Bye, guys.